tell. Even if I told you, you wouldn't understand that you and I is lost forever. Under all this emptiness, each time I try to get inside, you're on my own, no time for talking. Amelia, Amelia, how could you leave me on this way? I knew I should have stayed away. Amelia, Amelia, there's nothing more left to say. It's time to go our separate ways. They say that time is a healer. I don't believe what they say. I'm broken anyway. Ever since we parted, all this pain has started. It's never ending. Under all this emptiness, each time I try to get inside, you're on my own, no time for talking. Amelia, Amelia, how could you lead me on this way? I knew I should have stayed away. Amelia, Amelia, there's nothing more left to say. It's time to go our separate ways. Don't tell me you love me when you're sorry. It's not enough. Ooh, no. Only this time I woke and broken free. Amelia, Amelia, how could you lead me on this way? I knew I should have stayed away. Amelia, Amelia, there's nothing more left to say. It's time to go our separate ways. Amelia, Amelia, how could you lead me on this way? I knew I should have stayed away. Amelia, 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 Amelia.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another live stream Saturday, and a little bit more of a relaxed start to the live stream tonight with Amelia. So, when I started the live stream, I didn't have any sound, which was an absolute nightmare. I didn't know what was going on, trying to sort out lots of things at the same time. I could see that there's a microphone on that shouldn't be on, and hopefully this microphone's on and you can hear me. I can see that we've got sound, so yeah, hopefully it's all fine. You can see me as well. Thank you for joining me on this Saturday night. And yeah, another thing that happened, I believe there was a donation from Karen in the super chat window which I saw pop up, but then it disappeared, and I think it might have been a moderator clicking on something and it accidentally disappearing. But yes, this is the other thing, that the guidelines for the live streams are in the description below if you guys ever need to refer to those. But anyway, yes, hello, and I hope you guys have had a good start to your weekend. And let's have a look who's in the live chat room tonight. We have Mark, Alison, Laura, Laugh Out Loud, Can, Laura Lee, Jennifer, Laurie, Joe, Dean, Diamond Girl, Daisy, Gail, Karen, Tammy, Laurie, Alison, Roe, Howard, Matt, Hawk, does that say? And Gail, Daisy, Bob. We got through quite a lot there before we went off the top of the screen. But thank you guys for joining me tonight. And yeah, Saturday night, same as usual. We're going to be seeing what happens on the live stream and only finding out what I haven't set up when I get there. So, first of all, let me get the names of my patrons up on screen because they make this all possible in the first place. And yeah, thank you guys. You know who you are. These people's names go across the bottom of the screen throughout the live streams on a Saturday and a Tuesday, and we live stream at 11 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. By the way, just in case you need to figure out the times, all that kind of stuff, depending on where you are in the world. But we also have the likes goal for tonight, and take a deep breath while this sinks in. We're going to be aiming for 650 likes tonight. Whether we get there or not, who knows? And yeah, because of all things, kicking off before I was starting the live stream, not having sound, and then it taking ages to connect, all of that stuff, I think we maybe started a minute or two late. But always takes a bit of time to connect. So, yes, 650, that's what we're going to be aiming for. So if you could leave a thumbs up as you come through the door, that would be very much appreciated so that we can get as close as we can to that total to then have a fill jam. We'll bust out the guitar, see what happens, and see what Joe has conjured for tonight's backing track in order to have a jam too. So, yes, if you could hit that thumbs up, that would be great. Let's get the likeometer up on screen. Haven't done that yet. And here it is, 298 likes. So that means we're only looking for 352 more people. So, yeah, we're going to have to drum up as much support as possible to hit that thumbs up. But almost halfway there. And I've just done the maths for tonight, so that's good. That's all out of the way, which is great. So, yes, I can see as well that there have been donations, and there were 2 donations. And what I'm going to have to check afterwards is, with that other donation, whether Karen is around or maybe accidentally, I don't know, timed out or moved, or I'll have to check that out afterwards. But there definitely were 2 donations, so thank you for that, Karen. And by the way, you don't have to donate, just watching is great. So I'm going to put this up on screen. Between 45 and 60% goes to YouTube through the super chat window if you do donate, and between 3 and 5% goes to PayPal through the PayPal link in the description below. But you don't have to donate, and that goes across the board for analysis videos. And I've had emails from people that I even had one today that somebody sent me something and said, oh, can you give me your opinion of this particular performance? And I get this kind of thing all the time where people just want a quick opinion as to, what is going on. And I mean, more often than not, as you guys probably know, it's not entirely live, or, it is pitch corrected or auto-tuned, all that kind of stuff. So for people that are just curious about a particular performance, I can kind of listen to it very quickly, and I'll be able to say at least what I think is going on, and my ears are quite sensitive now to picking up tuned vocals. But anyway, somebody asked me about a particular performance, had a quick look at it and told them what I thought, and then they said, where do I send the money to? And I said, you don't have to send me any money, and you don't have to, for requests for analysis videos or anything like that. I can give my opinion, and I can through emails, and I can do the analysis videos. They're never paid for. So I know that other channels and other people do that kind of thing and ask people for money, but yeah, I've never done that and never will do that. So moving on to the donations that you don't have to make, but thank you guys. Paul has donated $5, and Paul says 462,000 subscribers, most excellent. Please spike the likes and have fun tonight. And a plug of the mug, Catch Crew for me, rock. So quick plug of the mug, here we have it. And if you want to get your hands on any of the merchandise, then you can click on anything in the tray underneath this video. If you've got a tray underneath this video, if you haven't, then you can go to the link in the description below. But I can see everything kind of kicking off on the right hand side. And Christian says, if we came up short on the likes, would you actually tell us to hop it without a fill jam? Well, them's the rules, and I've done it in the past. I know that we haven't missed a Phil Jam in a very long time, but long-time viewers will remember when we don't hit the likes goal, we don't have a jam. It is quite a simple, state of affairs, and that's just why, we try to hit a thumbs up as much as possible. Obviously, I would like to hit the goal in order to bust out the guitar and have a jam, but if we don't, there's got to be some kind of rule and regulation to proceedings. Otherwise, what is the point of having the likes goal, or at least that line to cross? So we will see, and it would be a new record for the channel on the whole if we do hit 650. So it'll be a new record. Let's just go for that. Now, everything has been really crazy. Or let me just say, Malteser has donated $90.99. Thank you for that. And the message is, yes, Phil, change my name. It's either this or Jammy Dodger, but Maltesers are more delicious. This is for Tuesday's Phil Jam. Rock hard, baby. So thank you for that. And like I've just said, we've got to hit that 650 target for the Phil Jam. And I mean, this is the thing, you don't have to pay for anything. You don't have to donate for anything. And it's the same that if people say, right, I'm going to donate to then have the Phil Jam, that would effectively be bribery. So, you don't have to pay for anything, and whatever happens, happens. And we're aiming for that target tonight. So, still a bit of a ways to go. But anyway, things have been hectic recently. And there have been donations over on PayPal, and I will get into those. I'm just going to kind of click on that so that I can get back to the PayPal window in a second. But yes, the reason that things have been so crazy is because I'm going to be doing an interview on Monday evening, and that's with Chris Lipe on his channel. And we're going to be talking about, obviously, vocals and pitch correction, all that kind of stuff, because I know that Chris has a lot of things that he wants to talk about in that particular space. And then I'm going to be doing an interview with Dan, and Dr. Dan, who's another vocal coach on YouTube. So there's a lot going on at the moment. So Monday's normally an admin day for me, but I'm going to be doing that interview. Tuesday is normally obviously live stream day, and I usually do some video preparation on Tuesdays, but I'm going to be doing the interview on Tuesday as well. But I will be doing the live stream because the interview is happening after the live stream. So after I've finished everything here, I'm then going to go off and do the interview. Now, the thing is about these interviews is that I might be talking about stuff, and certainly with Chris I have run this past him, that if we want to talk about everything that's to do with my side project as well that I'm going to be launching soon, there'll have to be a bit of a delay on the release of that video. So it's not something that we're going to be doing on Monday and then it's going to be out on Wednesday or Friday or anything like that. It'll probably be released as and when my side project becomes public knowledge, when I launch it, so then it can be released at the right time, because there's lots of things that I can't really talk about until everything's out there. So we'll be doing that. So everything's hectic. And then yesterday I started getting loads of emails from people and loads of messages on Patreon as well. So thank you guys for all of your messages. And people were saying about Steve Lukather mentioning my name in an interview with Rick Beato on his channel. And he was just saying about my channel, mentioned my name, Phil, which is great. And I always say that you never really know who watches the channel, but there are lots of people who do watch the channel. And Steve has seen a few of my videos, which is great. And it's interesting when, it's only mentioned for, just maybe 10 or 15 seconds, but it's interesting how Steve referred to it, because he was saying about, what I did and that I exposed different artists. And the interesting thing is how some people see it as exposing a particular artist or, exposing the industry, all this kind of stuff. But all it is, foundationally, when you boil it all down, it's just me being asked to look at a performance and then saying what is happening. And it's not really an expose on a particular artist. I'm just going to tell you what's going on. And then the subjective interpretation of that might be that it's exposing something because maybe the recording industry or the particular record label that might have this artist performing who have then pitch corrected their voice, or maybe they're using auto-tune live or lip syncing, all that kind of stuff. The reason I think it's referred to as exposing is because people think that the music industry doesn't want people to find out. And again, like I've said, all I'm doing is just objective analysis videos, and it's what you do with that objective information and how you feel about it that shapes your view on it. So the interesting thing that Steve said as well was that music now is just a series of zeros and ones. And, I'd be inclined to agree with that it's now, computer data. It's not something that's creative because it's being turned into data and computer data, and not creative, information or, actual artistic creations, because it's being manipulated and changed into something that is obviously conforming and being calibrated to a 440 standard pitch equal temperament. So nothing's allowed to go outside of that now. So it is very much, just everything's now on train tracks that you can't go off those tracks now. That's how it's got to be. If you're a singer, you've got to be on these train tracks. You can't, throw in a bit of expression either way. It's got to be on A440 standard pitch equal temperament. So, I would tend to agree with that. And he also said that, and people don't care at the moment. And I mean, he's right that I think in the industry, obviously it's artistic, it's down to what you believe as an artist, what you're like artistically, how you want to sound, what you want your music to be, whether you want to have a totally honest product or even an honest relationship with your fans, or whether you're kind of okay with just doing things and hoping that people don't find out. Or there are artists that say that they use auto-tune and they're quite open about it. But when Steve said that nobody cares anymore, I think that's from the perspective of, because then he talks about how back in the day he would hear something and it wouldn't quite be right, but he'd know that that's it. It's not perfectly tuned, but that's the feeling that you're kind of going for with a particular either song or melody or guitar solo, whatever it might be. So there was imperfection, which made it perfect, because he goes, that's it. But you can't quite put your finger on what it is. You just know when it's right. So when he's referring to people not caring anymore, it's almost like that part of music with particular artists has been lost. They're not listening to it and thinking, that's where it is. That feeling is there. And that's, whatever tuning that might be in order to get that feeling, it doesn't matter because the feeling's most important. But now it's like artists are forgetting about the feeling and looking at lines. So it's like all of that creative side. And as he says that, nobody cares anymore, seemingly in the industry, that all of the vocals are now tuned. And I think there are particular singers who do care about it. And I think that there will be a shift in the industry in the future where the artists who either find out that they've been tuned and don't know might make a bit of a stand against it, or they will say, if there is an option, and again, this is kind of my side project that's in the works at the moment, if there is an option for people to know that you're singing live and that it's your voice, it's unedited, if there is that option, then some artists might want to go down that route and let their fans know that, by the way, I haven't tuned my vocals, this is my vocal ability and it's natural, and this is my ability at hitting pitches accurately. So in the future we will see. But the good sign from being mentioned on Rick's channel, especially by Steve, it shows how this channel's getting out there, the videos that I'm doing are getting out there, and that I think we might be able to do something. in the music industry. And again, it's not kind of exposing or doing anything like that. It's just giving customers and fans of bands and singers transparency, or at least making it transparent as to what they're watching. Because again, I've been answering emails today where I'm having to tell people that what they're watching isn't live, and they can't believe it. But again, it's just because there's no transparency in the industry. So that and they came back to me and said, "What? So you're telling me that they're not actually playing this live?" And I said, "Well, no, they're not." And it just happened to be on a band that I've done a video on in the past, so at least I could refer them, back to that. And then they were saying, so, and I'm having to explain it and literally say, so what's happened is they've gone into a studio, they've recorded it all as you would do with a single that you're going to release. You've recorded things multiple times, got it as perfect as possible, and then they've set up and they've performed the song, but we're not hearing the performance, we're seeing it synchronized with the final product that they've made in the studio. So this is it. It's, again, just a transparency thing. I think that just honesty and transparency, especially in art, are really important things. So I think if we can bring that to the music industry, it's well overdue. So people know what they're buying. I think everyone should have that, that right to know what they're buying. If they're buying tickets to a show and they're hundreds or thousands of dollars, that they should know that what am I buying, what am I paying for here? And say, oh, you're paying for a fully lip-synced performance and nobody's going to be playing live. We know from the poll that I did before, asking about that, we know that people would then think differently about that. Some people don't care, but I think the vast majority, if you say to somebody, right, you're going to pay $1,000 to go and watch this band, and they're not actually playing and they're lip syncing, but they will be moving on stage. Or you can pay $1,000 to see this other band, and this person might be a fan of both of those and only have $1,000 to spend. And they say the other band are going to be playing fully live, they're going to be singing live, and it just means that that's going to be a totally unique performance of that song when you turn up. It's not just going to be the same as every other night where somebody's pressed play. So a lot of people would prefer to go and watch the live thing and would spend their money on that. So yeah, I think it's really important to just give people the option, because then if they say, well, no, I want to watch the lip synced one, then that's fine as well. But at least at least everybody's got that transparency of knowing what they're buying that is afforded to them in every other walk of life. When you go shopping, buy anything, you are protected. So yeah, I think it would be great to have the music industry like that. And it's not exposing anyone or anything, it's just giving the consumer the option to know what they're paying money for. But anyway, yes, that's all going to be happening in the future, so stay tuned for that on my channel, also over on Patreon. And recently, just to mention, over on Patreon, I didn't do an update on Thursday, and I think if I don't do an update on a Monday or a Thursday, which are my admin days, but at the moment they are admin, but mostly side project days of recording and editing and all that kind of stuff for a video for the website, setting up the website and emailing people, all that kind of stuff. So all of that is extra to what I do anyway on the channel. So this is why I might not do an update, just because I literally don't have time to type out an update on Patreon. So yeah, I think probably over the next few weeks it's going to be a case of me keeping everybody in the loop on the live streams. So yeah, if you're over on Patreon, tune into the live streams. Obviously the live streams are uploaded to Patreon as well, so I put a link in there so you guys can watch it so that you won't miss it. If you want to have any updates, I can do them in the live streams. But a lot of stuff going on at the moment, and yeah, we will see how things go when everything launches. But like I've said before, I'm going to be turning to you guys out there watching in order to spread the word, because I think it's really important that not only people know it's out there, but artists know. Because I do get emails from people saying that, they say, I've just recorded an album, I've just recorded a single, and I've just played X amount of shows, and I was singing fully live. and I want people to know that I'm singing fully live. So I think it's important for artists to know that there will be something that will allow them to tell their fans and show their fans so that they are doing everything in that particular way. So yeah, I think it's important. Right, moving on. There have been donations in the super chat window, so thank you guys for these. And by the way, let's have a quick plug of the thumbs up. We're aiming for 650 tonight, which would be a new record for the channel, and we're at 488, 489, and that means we're looking for 161. That's a number, obviously, but I was going to say that's a number that my brain has thrown out there. But we'll see. Is that 160 now we're looking for? Lots of maths tonight. So if you can hit the thumbs up, that would be great. And we'll have a jam at the end of the live stream. But anyway, yeah, back into the super chat window. And I will get into the PayPal window in a second. But there's a donation of £5 from Silver Pear Ducks. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. But thank you for this. The message is, you should analyse some of the performances from the LA Fire Aid concert. Gwen Stefani was aces and Pink's guitarist was fire. So thank you for that. And I haven't seen any of that, unfortunately. So yeah. And I think Karen's message, maybe this has taken a little bit of time to come through, or maybe it disappeared, or maybe it's back. I'm not sure. But like I said, Karen donated earlier $10 and says, "Hi Phil, my condolences to the families of the many figure skaters and others who died in DC crash, and the pediatric patient and others in the second crash last night." Okay, I'd heard about the first one. I don't know what the other crash is about. So yeah, I don't keep up with the news too much, but all I did see on the news was that this, the plane that Karen's referring to hit a helicopter. Was it a Black Hawk helicopter or something like that? And I saw the footage of it, and yeah, I don't know. I don't know how that is possible. I don't have any answers to that. Obviously, there's going to be an investigation as to how that can happen in the first place. Because for me, yeah, I don't understand at any point how a plane can hit a helicopter when everything is mapped, and I think even maybe the helicopter could see the plane. So yeah, I'm not sure what happened there. Obviously there's going to be an investigation to find out exactly who or what was at fault and how that can ever happen, but sadly, yeah, tragically it did. But thank you for that donation. Sue's donated $9.99 as well, and Sue says, to be fair, is that TBF? You are exposing the artist and the industry. The artist isn't being transparent, so you are pulling back the curtain. And 462,000 of us are here for it. So thank you for that, Sue. And, I mean, technically, again, it's just, I've been asked to do a request. I've done the analysis and presented the results. So then the result of that, then I guess if the person isn't being honest about it, then it will expose that they're not being honest about it. But the actual analysis isn't an expose. It's just me analysing something, and then the results of it determine the outcome if people are not being very honest about it. But again, this is it. I think pretty much the videos that I've been doing recently, actually for quite a long time, I think they highlight how much the music industry needs transparency, or how much people want transparency. Because if they didn't, nobody would care and nobody would watch my videos. And when I did a video, if I did a video about a band and, you know, it was them playing live, but they weren't actually playing or they weren't actually singing, everyone would say, so? We all know that they're not singing and they're not playing. We all know that musicians don't play their instruments, and we all know that singers don't sing live. I guess that's why there are quite a lot of subscribers and people watching the channel, is because people don't know that. And I think a lot of people, it's fair to say, a lot of people think that singers should sing live. They should do the thing that they do, or is their job effectively to sing. So yeah, you should sing. But then if they don't sing and they're honest about it, again, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But it just means that people now know which artist they will go and watch. If they like an artist who does more of a show and does dancing and stuff, then they can go to that show. But if they like somebody who's going to sing and play live and sing live, then they can go and watch that show. So yeah, thank you for that, Sue. And Craig has donated $5 as well. Thank you for that, Craig. And that's Craig's 5th Super Chat donation. The message is, crazy Parliament opt-out requirement for AI accessibility. I think that's going to say so. Thank you for that. Yeah, this is a video that I did last night, was it? I'm losing track of time because there's so much going on at the moment. But yeah, the UK government, like I said in my video, I don't know how it ever got to this point, but I think it might have been thrown out. So if it has, I've got to double check all of this, but if it has, I might make another video just letting everybody know that in this rare case, maybe common sense has prevailed, but also to reference some of the emails that I got about AI and about my video that I made, because some people didn't agree with what I was saying. So yeah, I think it'll be an interesting video to make a follow-up to that, just to address the other people's point of view, which again, I kind of emailed the people back saying exactly what I thought about it, and that what they're suggesting is a totally different application of AI that has nothing to do with what I'm talking about. But obviously there are a few people that think that it's all one and the same, but in my mind it is very clear as to when AI should be used and when it imposes on somebody's rights and negatively could affect their income or their life by giving away their property, their intellectual property that is copyright and they own it. So I think that case is very clear, and the other cases that people were coming up with, I did try to explain in an email how it's a totally different thing in my mind, but maybe I'll do a video on that in the future. So anyway, as you guys know, I don't do political videos, so that was, it's a rare one, but because I was directly affected, obviously it's something that I thought, well, I've got to show a little bit of a little bit of an opinion on this, because as a musician, as somebody who has music, and I own all of my publishing rights, and if all my music then suddenly becomes public and anyone can use it or feed it into AI, obviously you guys know from the video, I wasn't a big fan of that idea. But anyway, David has donated $5 as well. Thank you for that, David. And the message is, thank you, Phil. It is a joy to be of your channel. God bless. So thank you for that, David. Right, quick jump into the PayPal window because we've had some donations in there. Nicole donated £15. So thank you for that, Nicole. And then donated £2 again straight after. And the message was, hello, Phil. Very worried after your video last night. Artists like you are threatened by the monster called AI. How to protect. Many love, Phil, and good luck for this battle. Rock. So thank you for that. And I mean, but I think it's not just me. It would have been, depending on the scenario, how it is at the moment, it would have been everyone in the UK, not just me. So it's not just the government coming for my stuff. They're going for everyone's stuff. No matter how well known or how independent you might be. So it's I've already said on the channel that AI is out of control. It already is out of control, because you had the whole actors thing where actors were going on strike because studios, and I don't know whether this happened in a movie, was it like The Flash or something like that, where I don't know what it was, but they were using other actors' faces, but it wasn't them acting. So you had something like Nicolas Cage as Superman, something like that. But it was all AI and it was all CGI. So it means that at least my understanding of it is, because they had so many different actors, they were putting their faces in all of these scenes, but they hadn't actually acted in the movie. So you think, well, you can't do that. You can't take somebody's face and put them in a role in a movie, but they weren't actually hired to play the role and they don't get paid for their own face. So that is mental. And I think AI has got to that point where, I mean, it's already gone to that point of it's too far, because governments can't write legislation fast enough to cover what AI is doing. And the fact that, yeah, you can take anybody's face and do anything with their face, put it on anyone, and that's it. And you can even go to websites that will do this. And those websites haven't, I don't know how, because this happened so quickly, they couldn't be stopped. So you think, well, yeah, where do you go from here? Like, how do you stop AI now? Because they say, oh, right, we're going to have to write a law that says these websites where you can change somebody's face into another person's face, we've got to stop those websites. But those websites exist already. So how are you going to take them all down? Once you get rid of one, another one will be developed because it's so far gone. So, yeah, AI is crazy. So, I mean, I'll be quite happy just to be in a world where there are genuine musicians and artists who are performing live, and the reason that you know it's all live, because I'm going to tell you. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And as long as we have that, and I have that, and you have that in the music industry, then at least that's something that we can control. And AI might be going crazy everywhere else in the world, but at least here on the channel and everything that I'm associated with, everything that I'm going to be doing in the future, you guys will know is just going to be about genuine artistry and ability and things that, I don't know, are authentic, you know. So, yeah, that's it. It might just turn into this little bubble that we have as the only place where reality is actually happening. And then, yeah, we'll all join up here on the live streams and hopefully, yeah, be able to listen to some great music, great singers, and know who's out there and genuinely doing stuff live, and who's still doing the whole true artistry thing. But anyway, yeah, thank you for that, Nicole. And Sandra has donated £20 as well. So thank you for that, Sandra. That is a straight up donation. Tammy's donated £10 as well. Thank you for that, Tammy. The message is, hi Phil, congratulations on hitting 462,000 subscribers. Your hard work and perseverance are continuing to pay off. Keep up the excellent work. Rock. So thank you for that. And I think my problem is that I just do too much. It's like when I do one thing, I then start working on another thing and then do another thing. And I think at the moment, the side project that I'm doing is such a huge thing that it could be a whole YouTube channel and every other, you know, website, social media site. It could be all of those, and it would take me, you know, all of my time to do. So trying to do that on the side of everything that already takes all of my time, obviously, yeah, it is difficult. But I think it's worth doing. I think it's worth spending as much time as possible on, for then the end result of what it could mean in order to maybe have some kind of positive impact on the industry. Because I think, well, if I've got the opportunity to do that and the means to do that, then why not try? Because, yeah, things only change when, you know, somebody tries to do something. It's very easy just to sit back and let everything, you know, go on, and things, unfortunately, yeah, snowball into, you know, then everyone accepting, oh, well, that's the way it is now, we can't do anything. I think, well, yeah, somebody's got to try and do something, and that's what I'm going to be doing very soon. But obviously, everybody on the channel is invited to join me, and that's why I think we can make a bit of a difference. So, anyway, yeah, thank you for this £10 donation, Tamara, and that is a straight up donation. And Debbie's donated £10 as well. Thank you for that. The message is, hi Phil, congrats on 462,000 subscribers. By the way, I didn't even put this on screen earlier, so we are at 462,000 subscribers. Thank you guys for subscribing and hitting the thumbs up, getting involved, commenting, all of that cool stuff. And yeah, it's a great number. We'll keep on pushing forward and see where we end up. But let's get rid of that because Debbie says, I enjoyed the Madonna analysis recently. She is quite a versatile artist and performer. Hope your side project is going well. You're awesome. Love you, Debbie. So thank you for that. Yeah, with the Madonna analysis, again, that was one of those that, yeah, it was a very early example of pitch correction, but was really subtle. And I think just the nature of the software at that time meant that you couldn't really do too much. So you had to use it sparingly so that you just adjusted a bit here and there. So yeah, it's great because it shows that Madonna was actually really accurate live and there wasn't a load of editing on her vocal. So Linda has donated £7.70. So thank you for that, Linda. And the message is question. So it's just the word question. So thank you for that, Linda. And Elaine has donated £15.39. So thank you for that. The message is, bless you for making this a happy place. Phil, we all could use some smiles and giggles. So thank you for that. And Jacqueline has donated £11.54. So thank you for that. The message is, please drop the fitness and nutrition plan. So, I mean, the only fitness plan I'm on at the moment is trying to get my arm back to full functionality. So that's more physio than fitness. And nutrition, I've never been on a nutrition plan for my whole life, really. I've always, because, I did sports science, sport and exercise science at college and university. So nutrition was, part of those studies, so it means that I've studied nutrition for 5 years, so I know quite a lot about food. And because I used to play a lot of football and had an interest in working out, and I think from the age of 13 or 14 I was lifting weights, dumbbells. Then I was a personal trainer when I was 18. So all of that knowledge and that interest that I had, I think the nutrition side of it, you just understand food. So you're never really on a nutrition plan because, like when somebody says, right, how many calories in a Rocky chocolate bar? 98. Like, I know all of the numbers. So, for example, tonight I had just, a bacon sandwich. I don't really, eat a huge amount, but, like, knowing the calories in a bacon sandwich, you're always kind of calculating protein content, fat, and you kind of eat as energy for your body. So then what you're having, and knowing how many saturated grams of fat there's going to be in the food that you're eating rather than unsaturated. And you want to try and limit saturated fat because that'll get clogged in your arteries. So that's no good. So and this is it that I think the whole nutrition plan, it's not really a plan, it's just knowing about food. And I think that when you know about saturated fat, for example, then you think, well, it's quite good to know to avoid that, especially if you've got a history of that kind of thing, of heart disease or something in the family. You want to limit the chances of your arteries kind of getting blocked or increasing blood pressure, for example, because obviously the more blocked the artery is, the thinner it is, and it's exactly the same as you putting your thumb over the front of your hose when you're watering your garden. That pressure increases. So you want to make sure that your arteries are kind of nice and clear, so keep your blood pressure down, all that kind of stuff. So obviously stress is a big part of that as well, but I'm not on a nutrition plan. And I think if everyone kind of knows about what they're taking in, that can only be a positive thing for them as a person. Also, like the National Health Service, all that kind of stuff. And and this is the other thing, that you can have all of the fast food and stuff, but in moderation, because once you start looking at the saturated fat in fast food, you think, right, that's why there's a link to that fast food and obesity and heart problems and all that kind of stuff. So so I don't really have a fitness plan, and nutrition plan I don't have one either. I just know what's in food and drinks. But thank you for that, Jacqueline. Right, Leslie's donated £23.09. So thank you for that, Leslie. And the message is, too late to tip last Tuesday, so here's for a great jam. More metal. So thank you for that, Leslie. What did we have last time? Was that a heavier track? I know that we had the gem, so maybe it was a little bit heavier. So yeah, I think we have a mix of everything, really. So it might be hard rock, it might be metal, it might be jazz fusion. We've had, what else have we had? It's like I can't even remember. Just basically everything, like funk as well. Yeah, jazz, rock, hard rock, metal, psychedelic blues jam, all these kinds of things. So yeah, I think we have a fair mix. I think if it was just metal and metal and metal, yeah, it's obviously something that I know quite well from kind of 80s rock and metal, but I think it's nice to test yourself in other genres and just see how you get on. But thank you for that, Leslie. Right. Craig's donated £10 as well. Again, thank you for that, Craig. I'm just going to skip that advert. But this is a donation of £10 over on PayPal this time. So thank you for that, Craig. And we are up to date there. So we have had another donation, maybe. It's Maltese who's donated $19.99. So thank you for that. The message is, my previous donation was for last Tuesday's great jam, not as a bribe for next Tuesday. Please don't use it for evil pizza. So thank you for that. And yeah, pizza's off the menu at the moment. I'm just going through a phase of, because I know when I last had pizza, or I last had Domino's pizza in September, the end of September, beginning of October last year. And because I know that's when I had it, it's almost like it's a test now to see how long I can go without it. And it's always, I mean, the reason that I like doing this is because the longer you leave it, the better it tastes when you then have it again. If you have Domino's pizza like once a week, you just get used to it. And it's the same for McDonald's. Like, if I have a long time away from having a McDonald's, then when you have it again, especially like a Big Mac with the sauce inside, it just goes into a different category of taste. So yeah, that's why I'm delaying now Domino's for as long, not as humanly possible. I'll probably have one this year. Just have to wait and see when that is. But thank you for that. Obviously, that there's the knock-on effect of it, being quite a healthy thing to do. But yeah, I'm always for everything in moderation. I don't think there's a lot to be gained by cutting absolutely everything that you might enjoy out of your diet, because then it becomes a diet and it's not enjoyable. And yeah, it's not as if I'm kind of working out every day and I just keep the same. Like, I'm not one of these people that puts on lots of weight, and I think it's just due to just everything in moderation and just not overeating. It's like on that Alone show where they call it the starvation diet. It's like nobody's ever gone on that Alone show and gained weight. I mean, they're losing a ridiculous amount of weight, over the course of 20 days, 30 days. If you stop eating, your body then starts using whatever it's got. And if it's got fat there, it will start breaking that down for energy. And yeah, once it's done that, it will then start breaking down your actual muscle, the actual protein. So yeah, this is it. If you stop eating, you will lose weight. It's unavoidable. It's not a complicated equation, really. Everyone has a particular basal metabolic rate. There you go, fancy words. But it means a metabolism and a number of calories that you need every day just to be. So for me to be this, I need about 1,600 calories. I know that because I've worked it out. But it means that if I have 2,000 calories a day and I don't exercise, that means that 400 calories get put somewhere, and I don't get a choice in that. 400 calories get put on me. If I then have the next day and eat 2,000 calories again, guess what? Now I've got 800 calories over the last 2 days gets put on me somewhere. And just to put it into perspective, 800 calories is like a store-bought pizza. So you're getting a pizza put on you somewhere. So if you're constantly having, 2,000 calories a day, and I know people will say 2,000 calories a day, that's not very much, because here in the UK, the amount of calories it says you have to eat a day is 2,500. So that means that the UK government are telling me that I need 900 more calories than I actually do every day. Guess what happens when you tell people that? Everyone eats a pizza too much every day, and a pizza, 365 extra pizzas in a year is quite a lot. So what happens to the health service? They go, hang on, we're treating a lot of people for health issues related to weight and obesity. And it's like, yeah, because you're telling them they need 2,500 calories a day. You don't. I think very few people, need that amount of calories, unless you are an elite athlete. And bodybuilders, for example, they've got to feed their muscles in order just to keep them, so they have like 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 calories a day to keep their body, because their bodies are hungry. But yeah, for Joe Public, and that, by the way, is in protein and stuff that you're not going to get overweight eating protein. It's carbs and saturated fats, all those kinds of stuff. Anyway, let's move on. We don't want to turn this into some kind of nutritional live stream. Sometimes it does turn into that, but we are going to be jumping into tonight's cover video. I can see that Miles Away is in the lead with 56% of the vote, and it's between Miles Away and Just Got Lucky. So a Winger Dokken face off for tonight, and it looks like Winger are going to win out. So let's jump into that, and I haven't actually stopped that. Let me end the poll just to make it official, and there it is. So Malteser just donated again, $4.99. Thank you for that. The message is, Phil, your hair is light and fluffy today. Did you visit a hairdresser? No. This is random. My hair is entirely random. Light and fluffy, or what's the opposite of that? Heavy and unfluffy? I don't know. So yeah, this is exactly the same. No special thing has been done to it. It just decides what it wants to look like. So totally random. Thank you for that. Right, we're going to be jumping. We are 4 away from having a Phil Jam. And the Phil Jam tonight is going to be 7 minutes and 16 seconds. Right, we're going to have to get a move on to fit that in. And we're looking for 3 more people to hit the thumbs up. So if you could do that, it would be very much appreciated to get us to a new record for the channel. And we'll jump into tonight's cover video. My version of Miles Away by Winger. I hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll see you after. Rock! Okay, so quick introduction to this next video. This is more of a tribute video to Kip Winger, as I've been to see Kip in London and with his band, Winger, numerous times, and once I even went to France just to watch Winger. So this is my tribute, and it's me playing and singing Miles Away, and I hope you like it. See you later. Rock!
So this is love, also you tell me, as you're walking out the door. Months go by and I know for certain it's not the love I'm looking for. Sometimes, just for a moment, I reach out and hope you're still there. Miles away, no, you're never turning back. I just can't wait anymore. Miles away, nothing left but what we had. Just when I needed you most, you were miles away.
And there we have it. That was my version of the Winger classic, Miles Away. Right. So, Sue donated. Oh no, Vicky donated before Sue $5. So thank you for that. And the message was, if AI takes over, we will not need singers or concerts, as we will be watching holograms. Laugh out loud. I'm going back to the 70s. Laugh out loud. So thank you for that, Vicky. And Sue donated $4.99. And Sue said, can you still call it a tribute when your version outwingers Winger? Love this cover. So thank you for that. And yeah, I think it's always going to be a tribute. You can't beat the original. All you can do is, your own version of the original, or like trying to keep it as close as possible, but very hard to replicate or improve on the original, because if you didn't have the original, you'd have nothing to perform. So but thank you for the kind words. So just going to skip this advert before it pops in. Right. Oh, it just reminded me of something, a question that I answered on Patreon just before I went live. And somebody said that, and it was Leslie who said, or was asking me about my voice, and she was confused because I think she was talking to either a classically trained singer, or I don't know, a soprano, or maybe a tenor. I can't remember the message exactly. But she said that the singer had seen one of my videos and said that I used falsetto in a particular part of the song. And then Leslie must have said, oh, no, he doesn't use falsetto. Knowing that I've kind of explained in a live stream recently about falsetto, I've never been able to do. I've always just used my head voice with air in the sound. So yeah, I know what I'm doing. So it was interesting to hear that another singer saying what I'm doing with my voice, and I know what I'm doing with my voice. I know that I can't do falsetto, and they were saying, oh, so you're I think Leslie put in inverted commas from the conversation, oh, so you're saying that he goes up to an A flat 4 or A sharp 4, I can't remember what it was, and he's not doing that in falsetto. And and Miles Away is a very good example of that, where it's my head voice that I'm using. I'm never flipping over into falsetto because, first of all, I can't use my falsetto. I can access it, but it's just something that I only found out. And the reason that I know that I've got chest voice, head voice, and falsetto is because chest voice and head voice is what all I've ever used. So then this other register that's suddenly come along, I thought, oh, that's falsetto. So that's what that is, because obviously it's an airy sound and you don't get the connection. So yeah, and this is why when you're doing the experiment for trying to see whether you're singing in falsetto or not, whether it's just an airy head voice, if you go with air in the sound, you go ah, and if you can do that and go all the way down without your voice flipping or breaking, then you've gone from ah. That's an airy head voice. It's like going ah. It's the same voice, but I've just, instead of going ah like that, I'm going ah. I'm just putting more air between my vocal cords. It doesn't mean I'm in the falsetto register. So this is it. So yeah, I did respond to Leslie and say, I trust me, I know what I'm doing. I know that I'm definitely not singing at the top, in like Miles Away and those kinds of songs. That's not a falsetto thing. And I think a lot of people actually maybe misunderstand because they think that falsetto means a high note, but falsetto is a vocal register, the falsetto register. So that's where it gets confusing. Anyway, we are going to be moving into the Phil Jam, because we did hit the target for tonight. So thank you guys for hitting the thumbs up. You can keep on doing that if you're watching this in the future on catch up. You can keep doing it now. It very much helps the channel to grow and for these live streams to get out there a little bit more. But we've had another donation over on PayPal, so thank you for these. And it is Leslie. Speak of the devil, Leslie is the one who asked me about the vocals. So what are the chances of that? Leslie's donated £50. Thank you for that. And the message is, do you have a holiday fund set up? Please add this to it or start one. Don't burn out. So thank you for that. And I don't have a holiday fund at the moment. But thank you for that, Leslie. And yeah, that question over on Patreon. And Linda has donated £1.54. So thank you for that, Linda. And the message is, what amps are you using? We have a few different ones, yet Yamaha is the one that used most. So thank you for that, Linda. And I mean, back in the day, it just reminds me, saying Yamaha reminded me of the Roland Cube. That was, a really nice little practice amp. I mean, that was only like 30 watts, but that was cool. And I've got the Fender Mustang LG25. Oh, you might be able to see it down there. So that, and the amp that I use for the fill jams behind me, and I will be doing in a second, is my Line 6 Spider 3 HD 150. So that's 150 watts. So this one's got a bit more of a kick to it when you turn it up. And sometimes, I mean, yeah, when you're on kind of 1 or just under 1, that's what I use for the fill jams. So yeah, I mean, it's not very loud at all in this room, in this space, which is good because I need to hear the backing track. So sometimes it's a bit of a nightmare. But anyway, we are going to be jumping into the fill jam. Let me turn on the microphone and get myself a guitar. That'll help for a jam. Right, grab that, put that over here. As normal, you guys are going to have to let me know what the levels are like with the guitar and the backing track. And let me click on this.
Can we stop with the self-care?
Wow, why is that so loud? Okay, right. Well, that was an advert starting up that was really loud on my system, which isn't a good sign. Anyway, this is... Oh, let me zoom out as well. Zoom out. This is Yearning Pink Floyd style guitar backing track in A minor, and this is from Now You Shred backing tracks. So, right, let me unmute that. We'll play this. See. Okay, right. My guitar's on, which is fine. I might have to adjust these levels, so let me know if you can hear this. Can you hear this? Okay, level's good. Sound level's good. Good. And there it was. That went quickly. For some reason, that went quickly. There we have it. That was Yearning Pink Floyd style guitar backing track in A minor. And somehow that's 7 minutes and 16 seconds. And that's from Now You Shred backing tracks. So there we have it. If you guys want to check it out, that's the place to go. So thank you, Joe, for sending that my way. That was an interesting one. Some nice changes, a little bit relaxed, but kind of heavy at the same time. So that was the Phil Jam. And thank you guys for hitting the thumbs up and ensuring that we had a Phil Jam for tonight. Now, the thing is, 650 likes was a new record for tonight, new record for the channel. So it means that everybody's got to turn up next week in order to hit what will be a higher target. So yeah, if you can join me again next week, that would be very much appreciated. So I think there's been another donation, and it is, oh, did we say about Karen's one? $5 saying your voice is awesome, I play your album very often, so thank you for that. And Diamond Girl donated $2. Awesome as always, great jam, thanks again. So thank you for the kind words, and to you guys for all tuning in tonight. I'm going to be here with another video tomorrow night, so look out for that one. Live streaming Tuesday night as well. Same time, same place, 11 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. And all that's left for me to say is try to stay as safe and as sane as possible in this crazy world in which we live, and have a fantastic rest of your weekend. And I will catch you guys at the next one. Rock!